All right, we're diving into something pretty cool today.
Yeah.
A real-world case study.
Ooh, I like
I
those.
know, right? And it's from VizX Design Studios.
Okay.
They've got this blog post series all about a project they did. It's called Refined Connection.
Catchy?
Right. So it's a backyard makeover, the kind of thing that looks super straightforward.
Mm.
But then you get into it, and surprise,
Always a twist.
exactly. And that's what we're going to unpack today. Like, how do you handle those curveballs?
Love it.
The client communication, the project management side of things.
The stuff behind the pretty pictures.
Yes,
Yes.
we're going beyond the gram, getting into the nitty-gritty.
Let's do it.
So right off the bat, they had a permitting issue.
Oh, permitting. The bane of every project.
Seriously. You'd think basic project prints, a plot plan, good to go, right?
You'd think.
Nope. A month later, the city's like, hold up, we need detailed architectural drawings.
For what?
Specifically for the pavilion they were building. The metal roof, to be exact.
Wow.
And just like that, boom, 3 months behind schedule.
Ouch.
Yeah, makes you wonder, how do you even avoid that? Like, what could they have done differently?
Well, it's all about being proactive, right? Thinking like the person on the other side of the desk.
Like, put yourself in the city's shoes.
Exactly. Before you even submit anything, ask yourself, what would I want to see?
Oh, I like that.
And don't be afraid to reach out to the city beforehand, clarify everything.
Oh, I like that.
And don't be afraid to reach out to the city beforehand, get ahead of the game.
So basically, over-communicate.
Exactly. It's like that pre-game strategy session, Get ahead of the game.
I love that. So this initial delay, it had this crazy domino effect,
That makes sense.
Their crew was already booked for another project.
Ah,
So that pushed the Refined Connection start date back even further, another month.
wow.
But they didn't just sit around,
What'd they do?
They brought in a demolition crew.
Smart.
Yeah, get the site prepped while they waited.
Like they say, time is money.
For sure. It makes me think, is this kind of thing common, these chain reactions? I mean,
Oh, absolutely. It's like dependencies, One thing gets delayed and it ripples through the whole project.
everything's connected.
Exactly. Which is why clear communication is so important and flexibility, too. Everyone needs to be on the same page.
And ready to adapt.
Exactly. When the plan changes, the team needs to change with it.
Speaking of changes, winter decided to show up right as construction was starting.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and VizX Design Studios, they usually try to avoid big builds during the colder months.
Understandable.
And this project really showed why. What should have been a 2-month build turned into, well, several months.
Battling the elements.
Big time. Freezing temperatures, the whole works.
So what happens when you have to build in winter? Any tips?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like, how do you keep things moving and keep everyone safe?
Well, you got to change your game plan entirely. Site prep becomes even more important.
Like what?
Heated enclosures, maybe even thawing the ground if it's frozen solid.
Wow.
Then you got to think about materials. Some stuff just won't work in the cold, won't cure, right?
I see.
And then, of course, there's worker safety. Proper gear, adjusting the work hours to maximize daylight.
Yeah, makes sense.
You really got to be on top of it, looking out for ice and all that.
It's a whole other ball game.
It really is.
And of course, all of this affects the client, right?
For sure.
I mean, they're the ones waiting for their awesome backyard.
Right.
And the blog post mentioned that the wife, understandably,
Yeah.
got a little frustrated.
Yeah, I bet.
They had this big graduation party coming up in May, and the clock was ticking.
The pressure's on.
Totally. And it seems like VizX Design Studios was good about keeping them updated.
Through their client portal and all that.
Yeah, but it still makes you think, how do you balance transparency with managing those expectations? Especially when delays are unavoidable.
Well, honesty is key, right? And empathy. You got to acknowledge the client's
Like,
feelings.
yeah, this is frustrating.
Exactly. And explain why the delay is happening. And then lay out the plan, What are you doing to fix it?
And what the new timeline looks like.
Yeah, and make sure it's a realistic timeline. It's all about working together, not pointing fingers.
Problem solving as a team.
Exactly.
And VizX Design Studios, they didn't just talk the talk, they walked the walk too.
Oh, how so?
So the clients were having this holiday party, and they asked if the portable restroom could be moved.
Out of sight, I'm guessing?
Yep. Seems like a small thing, but VizX Design Studios made it happen.
Nice.
Makes you wonder, do those little gestures really make a difference?
Oh, they absolutely do. It's about exceeding expectations, showing you care.
Going above and beyond.
Exactly. Those small moments, they build trust. They stick with people.
They create a good experience.
Yes. One that clients remember long after the project is done.
So it seems like VizX Design Studios really aced this project, even with all the challenges,
They did. From permitting snags to weather delays, they rolled with the punches,
and kept the client happy.
which is the ultimate goal
It really shows that adaptability and communication are key.
in any project, really.
Totally. And this refined connection project, it's a great reminder
Of what?
that we got to plan for the unexpected. And when it does happen,
Be ready to adapt.
exactly, have the right tools, the right mindset.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So here's a thought for everyone listening. What are some potential roadblocks in your projects?
Ooh, good question.
And how can you be proactive? How can you take VizX Design Studios' approach and make it your own?
Whether it's work, personal life, whatever.
Exactly. Think about it. How can you create that smoother journey and end up with a happy client?
I love it.
All right. Keep those brains buzzing, everyone. And until next time, happy diving.
Happy diving.